Assalamu alaikum.
Close to my heart, and it's what's been involved me and preoccupied me for a number of years.
Now, obviously, you say a number of years, just to make everybody aware in terms of your expertise. You've got BSc Honours in Applied Chemistry, 13 years as a research scientist, mashallah, invented a number of products and the company earned millions in that sense. You've also done the PGCE, is it known as? The Postgraduate Certificate in Education. MashaAllah, you've done many other things and you're qualified to lecture in universities. You have been lecturing in, if I'm not mistaken, in Bradford a number of years. We had you on, I think about a month or a while ago, on a different thing. But, like I said, today's topic is about education, and you've done many different aspects. You also hence qualified to the PGCHEP level. Acronyms and understanding all these things.
Lots of letters.
What is that, first and foremost, PGCHEP? And what's the difference between a PGCE?
Slightly longer by a couple of letters, but the main difference between the PGCE and the PGCHEP or PGCHEP is one is primarily at the statutory education in primary and secondary school, and the second one, which is the PGCHEP, is aimed at further education in a university setting.
Okay.
So obviously the type of teaching is different. The pedagogy applied in schools and that which is applied at university with adults is different. So there's a different course that an individual will partake in.
MashaAllah. And you've also studied Islam, Masters in Islamic Studies, currently the principal of the Holy Foundation with the Madrasa, first nursery set up in the north quite a while back with a secondary school and a secondary girls and boys school. And you're an advisor on the ICO UK Fiqh Council, translation for the Turath publication, many things you're doing in terms of literature, publishing, research, current issues in terms of chemistry, etc. So, in my intro, first and foremost, you've got to ask this. I've got to ask you this question. You've studied so much. Are we as a Muslim community, first and foremost, ready for the challenges ahead in terms of our communities and society at large? But are we acknowledging, accepting, embracing these new findings, new methodologies, new researches, and how should we go about it?
I think I'd like to start by saying that education is a sphere, an element by which one individual facilitates the learning of a group of individuals. Now, prior to, say, 5-10 years ago, education was in its own area doing its own thing, but now, with the political climate as it is, politics is now playing a part in education, and this is something which the Muslim community is at the brunt of. Whether they find themselves in Islamic schools or whether they find them in state-maintained schools, whether they're in madaris, the whole sphere of education, in whichever institute or establishment they find themselves in, they have the extra responsibility or extra burden that not only they have to impart learning and education, it's also now with the current of the political current at the moment, which is clearly focused on the identity, the religious identity of the individuals. So as a community, we've obviously got to be prepared with the changes which are taking place in education, embrace them. Many of the findings which are taking place in pedagogy is developments, and they're great to take on board. But we also retain our classical methodologies as well, those which have proved and survived the passing of time, and they're trialed and tested. So it's a balance between tradition and development.
Okay, I mean,